Radio Free Tatooine presents Galactic War Report, a Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes podcast.
Boshuda, fellow Holotable hustlers, you're tuned into Galactic War Report, a Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes podcast that's better than some and worse than others. I'm Sean, a.k.a. the other Sean, and sitting across the holotable from me is John, a.k.a. the uncanny Mr. H.
Hello.
And this week, only one thing happened, but we're going to still give you a full episode.
And it was a big thing, though.
It was a big thing. We're going to be talking about the shard economy changes tonight, which just sounds like a silly topic, doesn't it?
It sounds very dull.
It does, but it's good. It's a good thing.
It's pretty meaty.
We'll get into that, and then anything else really? I don't think much. We are going to do a meta report tonight too, because there's been a bit of a shuffle. I don't know if you can hear it in the wind.
Chiron on the bottom. Breaking news.
Right. Yes. Out of curiosity, I looked at the ship meta. That has not budged.
No, it's frozen.
Very, very long time.
It's hanging on Jabba's wall. And
yes. So before we really get into that stuff, let's take a look at upcoming in-game events, courtesy of swgohevents.com. For a list of past, present, and future events in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, there's no better resource on the web than swgohevents.com. Today, as we launch on the 13th of November, we've got Smuggler's Run as well as Navarro for a Galactic Challenge. So we're getting our second batch of Queel shards. Mm-hmm. Enjoy it, folks. Which reminds me, did you notice the Queel pack changed in the store?
No, I did not notice that.
Yeah, it was a $19.99 pack for, I believe, 30 shards plus some gear and some crystals.
Yeah, usual.
They changed it and put a $9.99 pack in.
Oh no, I noticed that one.
Is it a different pack or did they just change it?
I don't know. I bought it when it was $10.
Yeah, so it's $10 now, which just doesn't come with the crystals now. Okay.
I'll be honest, I smashed it so quick. Those $10 packs I'm a sucker for.
They're good packs. Yeah. So that's fun. And then you'll get your, another 30 shards out of this Galactic Challenge. So that's, a total of 90, I believe?
If you buy the pack, yeah.
If you buy the pack? That's a heck of a lot of shards.
They offered it for another $10 for the same 30. I'd do it again.
Do it again. All day. Tomorrow on the 14th, Saturday, we're going to have a Dathomir Omega battle and Pieces and Plans Mythic.
I don't remember ever trying anything with the Pieces and Plans.
Pieces and Plans, is that the BB-8 one?
Yeah, so it's a first order one, right?
I think so. I don't know.
I'll try it this time if it is. If it's resistant.
It's a mythic. It's not a big.
It's true.
Big deal.
It's not challenged here. I haven't really messed a lot with the mythic stuff.
You know, I talk a lot of trash about these challenge tiers and how good I am at them. I'm not.
You talk a lot about them. Like saying how good you are at them.
Yeah. Secrets and Shadows popped up recently, and I tried challenge tier 1 with my Night Sisters. I still can't do it. It's just so dumb. It's so dumb.
Yeah, it's only Phoenix or Night Sisters.
Yeah. I mean, Sidious just destroys.
That's where he takes his revenge for being the butt of everyone's jokes for the last 3.5 years.
Painful. Yeah. So then on Sunday, what have we got? Galactic Bounties 1. I don't remember who's in which one, but those are all good.
At minimum, it's 50. It's a bunch of shards and 50 crystals per attempt. So
yeah, no doubt. On the 16th, we've got Ground War. That's my thing. I like me some Ground War. On the 16th, we also have Grand Arena Season 12 popping up, Week 3. Endor Escalation hits on the 17th. On the 18th, we also have an Endurance event for some more blueprints of that if you're still building your endurance. And then a territory
that's the day
war.
that the territory battle ends too, isn't it? So the 17th or 18th?
18th. Let's see. Yeah, it would be. On the 19th, we have a territory war starting, number 147.
That reminds me, I didn't join this last one we had.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, I don't remember why. It was intentional.
Oh, wow.
I was just kind of sick of territory wars.
Yeah.
And what exactly happened? Our opponent just set complete garbage defense?
Garbage defenses everywhere.
Like absolutely terrible.
Yes, Gear 8 Jawas, things like that.
Because well, why?
I don't know. We steamrolled them completely.
I kind of want to ask them.
Yeah.
Only because I'm thinking maybe because they know we had more Galactic Legends. Like they were like, well, we need to really make sure we have enough on offense to beat any Galactic Legends on defense. Or
I don't know, but
still.
I mean, teams that bad, like you don't need to go that deep down into the barrel to make
that's
that
true.
point.
Like even like your Gear 11 troopers, if that's all you got,
Exactly.
they're not going to help you on offense.
It was bad team. There were mob enforcers. There were Ewoks, Jawas. I'm trying to think of what other. I saw some Tuskens in there. It was.
Is
it
that
was
just like
rough.
they have seen into the Matrix and realized that second place rewards are only marginally worse than first place?
I guess so, man. It's wow.
It's why I didn't get to see it, which
I didn't either.
Because they're all gone.
Yeah, like what our attack started at like 1 or something.
1 or 2. I never remember.
So say our attack started at 2. I logged in at like 3:30.
Gone.
And everything's cleared. I'm like, what?
Yeah, usually you're still staring at like all but 1 or 2.
Yeah, a million Grievous walls. Yeah. Yeah, so that was a weird territory war. Real weird.
We both missed it. Me out of, apathy, and you out of, I guess, just being slightly slow.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'll take it, right? Sure.
Yeah. Take the W.
Could be worse, but So Grand Arena this time around also. First time up, I got paired up with someone who does not have a Galactic Legend, so that's pretty much the game right there. He did not attempt my Ray team. And I think I got 3 defensive holds with Sith Empire. And a couple holds here and there from other teams. First Order took 2 teams to take out. And then he went after my other Resistance team once and did not take him out. It was Finn and the Resistance Bros. And that was it. So I still, that being said, I still came kind of close to losing. Man, I cleared out 3 territories and they could only do 2. So ultimately I won, right? But I got a little nervous for a second there. Like, that should be in the bag.
On your family.
Yeah, the number of times I've done that were not a very honorable lot. But yeah, so I looked over the other opponents I have coming up, and everybody's got Galactic Legends, so I'm back in the actually, probably going to get stomped phase of Grand Arena. So that feels good.
Yeah, mine's been a mix of me logging in, seeing a hard defense, and going,
That's kind of like I threw so much at the front wall that by the time I beat both of those, I looked at the next sector and it wasn't that bad. But like I had won at that point, But I just no, I don't want to. I think I tried one team once or twice with the garbage I had left, and nope. So the big story this week is the shard economy changes that Capital Games has introduced, or is introducing, I should say, to Galaxy of Heroes. We don't have a date on this, correct? Like,
I believe it was said something about it. No, they said they'll have more regarding it with the anniversary announcement. So it's
my guess is it's
soon-ish.
going to be soon. Yeah, because anniversary is this month.
It says starting with the 5th year celebration. So whenever they put whatever they're putting in for the anniversary, they put this into, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So the big story here is there's a lot of nuance, and we're going to kind of weave our way through it. But most of the characters in the game are about to become much easier to farm, like twice as easy to farm. Essentially, they're taking the locations and the means of farming them and keeping it exactly the same, just if it were going to drop a shard, it is now going to drop 2 shards instead. Double drops for shards on characters.
Character shard double drops, basically.
Yeah. And I think it's funny that they posted a list of affected characters, which is like all but like 10 characters in the game or something.
So it's kind of interesting. The way they define it is very similar to how they define when an event will move to the journey guide, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like after a year, an event goes to the journey guide and you can just do it at your leisure.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they're defining these characters, right? Like once a character is a year old, then they will get double drops, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's so I mean the number of characters right now is huge, but I mean more and more characters. Like they use an example. I think Mandalorian came out in like April of this year, so he'll be double drops starting April next year. April or May, yeah.
I have a list here of non-accelerated tunes.
That's a much more useful list. Who's on that?
It's still not short. Now, if we're talking about
really?
people who are, well, because if they're in a store only, then you can't get double drops on them, right?
I guess so, yeah.
But as far as like properly grindable characters, you got Piet, Cara Dune, Grief,
Mando.
it's alphabetical. I'll get there.
Oh.
IG-11, Mon Mothma, Mando, Backpack Chewie, and that's it as far as properly grindable characters.
Yeah.
Now there's a pile of characters who are just journey guide or store exclusives. Like Grievous is not going to be a double drop because, well, he never drops, right? You got to buy the shards.
Sure.
And this does not mean if they're a reward, it does not double, right? Like if you do Grand Arena
for a raid
or Galactic War, even like if you get 1 drop of a Grievous shard from Galactic War,
that's still only 1. Yeah. Yep.
Right.
Just from hard nodes and Cantina.
Yeah, basically, it's anybody who came out for this last batch of Galactic Legends and Mandalorian characters are the only ones not affected as far as actually grindable characters.
Yeah. So that's a lot. And what that means is, I mean, for newer players, that's really good news.
Oh, I missed that.
Big time.
If store shipments will provide twice as many shards for the same amount of currency. I missed that.
Oh.
So if they're in the store, that you will get twice as many.
Huh.
Oh, see, I got that all wrong as I read this more. Ignore what I said before. It includes Galactic War and non-journey guide events like assault battles. Does not include bronziums or quests at this point, which is fine. Okay, so that's even better than I thought.
Wow, yeah.
Quests, yeah, because you can get like Vader shards from there, I think. I think that's about it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's fantastic news for newer players. And honestly, it's pretty good news for a lot of other players, too. Like anyone who's not, the very tippy top is going to get some good stuff out of this. I mean, it doesn't hurt anyone, right? Like it's not. Oh, wow. Okay. Do we have a take coming?
There are other takes I have seen. I have encountered them and had discussions about them. Because this helps people who are not them, some people are upset.
Oh, okay, sure.
Because somebody else benefits more from it pretty greatly, right?
It
Like you're a
sounds
new
like
player.
my children arguing.
Like you both got half a Twinkie. It doesn't matter that you had a Twinkie yesterday.
Yes. Oh, but they're going to talk about it. Yeah.
Right. Like the fact is, not everything is going to be for us endgame players.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm going to benefit from this only because I skipped things like the Old Republic stuff in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is going to be great for newer characters or people who are, the 2 to 3 million galactic power level who like they had to skip metas entirely, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's going to be great for that kind of thing. And no, it's not going to be great for super endgame people. Okay.
But it's a wash for them. Like, if
Yes,
you're super endgame, all of your opponents are super endgame too.
Yeah. I know. But they're not benefiting from it. It's a wash.
Yeah. Wow.
But they don't get a benefit.
I don't give takes very often, but my take on that, I don't care. I don't care. If you're upset about that,
But down Frank's Red Hot, you got to get
I don't care.
Sean's spicy sauce.
Yeah. This is that what Clancy's brand.
Oh,
Hot sauce. We bought a jug of that one time, and it's still in the fridge because my wife won't touch it. It looks just like Frank's.
If only. So what this does, though, as you might imagine, and this is part of where some people got upset about the shard shop changes.
Mm-hmm.
If you're an accelerated character, which means you are now getting double drops, that's what they're calling it, accelerated farm characters.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to keep the same conversion, right? 1 shard is 15 shard shop currency.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you are staying at regular drops, you're going to get 30 shard shop. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You follow.
I'm following.
However, all items in the shard shop are going to double in cost.
Mm-hmm.
Which means, functionally, the buying power of everything is going to stay the same.
Mm-hmm. Except for the non-accelerated characters.
No, because that's still 1 shard is 30.
Right, but if you were to grind, if you're on a node and you get a shard of range trooper, it converts to half the buying power that
But you
it
don't
would
get
have.
1, you get 2.
Or range trooper is a bad example. I'm sorry. Mandalorian, for instance.
Sure, you get 30.
Right, but who cares? Because if you're grinding Mandalorian,
No, that's the point. It's
why
the
would
same.
you be doing that if you already have him at 7 stars right
It's
now?
completely the same. If I grind something and I drop with an accelerated character, it would only drop 2. You're never going to get 1. It will always drop 2,
Mm-hmm.
which would get me 30 shard shop.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm grinding a slow rate character and I get 1 shard, I'll get 30 shard shop.
Oh, they're giving you more for that. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, I forgot.
So
I forgot that.
the
Yeah.
same. Ships are doubled also for what it's worth, so you get 1 shard to 38. So, I don't understand why this is a problem. And they even said, whatever you got in the bank, they're just going to double it. So if you've got 10,000 shard shop currency laying around, hey, bada bing, you got 20,000.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason to go on a spending spree. Now, where it gets a little complicated is you get people who have not promoted characters over the years to keep their power from getting higher to avoid brackets in Grand Arena and whatever reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have a unpromoted Stormtrooper at 3 stars, but they'll have 400 shards sitting around.
Mm-hmm.
If they cash them in now, they'll get 15 per shard, and then that'll get doubled with the currency that's in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
If they wait until afterwards to cash that in, they'll get 15 per shard because it's an accelerated farm character, but they won't get it doubled.
Mm-hmm.
So
cash it in now.
Yeah, this is to say, if you have a bunch of characters who you've not promoted for whatever reason, and you want to get the more amount, if you want to get the proper amount, because functionally it's going to be halved from what you should get for the same amount. So, please go cash it in now.
Go promote your stormtroopers.
Correct. Bronziums? You want to buy all those Bronzium packs? Do it.
I did it, and it took me hours.
Yeah.
Last night. Was it last night?
2 nights ago.
Night before, yeah.
But because, for the same reason, though, right? If you pull, 25 Royal Guard shards now, that'll get you 15 per shard.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll double.
Yeah, because when this goes live, whatever you have in the shard shop doubles. They're going to do a one-time doubling of your currency.
You'd get 15, and it would not double. So, I know it's kind of confusing for folks if you haven't really dug into it.
Mm-hmm.
So cash it in now, and even if it sits in the bank, that's good.
Yeah.
Drop rates are going to get doubled for anything over a year old, basically. Mm-hmm. But buying power functionally stays the same.
Yeah. The only buying power loss is if you have someone waiting to be promoted and you don't do it before this change.
Correct.
And if you have a ton of bronziums and you don't spend it, or not bronzium, ally points, you don't spend it on bronziums before this change.
Correct.
So I spent 880,000, I think, on bronziums, and I got 24,000-ish in ally points or shard shop currency.
Yeah,
which I'm very happy with. I'm really glad I did that because I'd hate to lose out on today's equivalent of 12,000.
I mean, you'd be losing out, yes, but also you were not going to spend that 880,000 ally points anytime soon.
On anything.
Right.
Sure.
So, I mean, it's like you were going to plan on doing it December 1st and like, no, I just missed the deadline.
Right, yeah.
But that being said...
But I had a soft plan. I was trying to get up to 1 million, just for funsies.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then I read this and I was like, nope.
Yep.
We're not doing that.
All right, so that's the nuts and bolts of it all.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to help us get gear for now. But again, the buying power is the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
just spend your bronziums.
Right. So we know what to do. We know
buy
what's
your
gonna
bronziums. Yeah.
Something I noticed on there that I'm upset about on the list, obviously, of characters who are doubled is Sith Marauder, whom I just finished grinding.
Yeah, I could see that might be a little salty.
Only because I could have used all that Cantina currency to grind out some signal data, which I need.
Oh yeah, he's Cantina. Oh, that is tough.
But I'll survive.
Mm-hmm.
The Inglory Gainer. Okay, so what does this mean, Sean? Why would they be doing this?
I think this is part of their plan that as this game ages, they have to start thinking about things differently, just like humans do. You have to start thinking about how you get your shoes on a little differently, and what
you're not that much older than me, Sean.
What kind of milk should I be drinking, Or should I be drinking milk? Does it make me a little gassy? You got to ask these questions, and those are the questions that they're asking themselves.
There was an interesting study recently done as to whether the ability for adult humans to digest lactose was something that was selected for over other traits in evolution because it spread very quickly throughout Europe.
Yeah, I read something about that a while ago.
Recently they did a study about it. Anyway.
So anyways, yeah, I mean, obviously this is something that is targeting newer players, right? But they've got a whole system of trying to make this game less intimidating for newer players or returning players, or even some of those kind of middle ground players that play it, but not too seriously. And this is going to give them a chance to kind of build up that roster. Especially, a new player jumps into this. They want to be able to meaningfully contribute to their guild, to Grand Arena, Territory Wars. These things take big rosters, and there's so many characters that require, you think of not just Galactic Legends, but the Hero's Journey characters and Epic Confrontations and all those. It's a lot for a new player to take in, and this is something that they've addressed with the Hyperdrive bundle, which is, we've kind of mentioned before, it's $100 for a new player. That's a big ask, but it's worth every penny, honestly. If you're going to be playing this game, it definitely gives you some power to start with. This kind of continues that. This is the next step of that, and this is good even for people who don't spend the $100 on the Hyperdrive bundle. But, you see a roster of 200 characters and think, I need, for one thing or another, I need, pretty much all of these. 90% of them for something,
I'll go with 70.
70. Okay,
there's a lot of Jedi and Rebels you can ignore.
Yeah, that's very true. But this makes the game approachable for newer people, and it just, for someone like you or me, this is still an interesting thing. I've talked in the past about how I got Rey. I'm close to finishing the requirements for Jedi Master Luke. What do I do next? And now I look at Supreme Leader Kylo, and there's a couple characters in there, Hux and Sith Trooper, that, okay, I guess I'll start grinding them because it's going to be only half as painful as it would have been otherwise. So that's, there's something for everyone, and I think that the benefit of this scales directly opposite of most benefits, most incentives in this game. It's kind of a rich get richer, poor get poorer kind of economy in this game. This is a move
like a real economy.
Yeah, it is. This is a move that directly contradicts that. That if you who benefits the most from this? The brand new powerless players benefit a lot from this. Guys like you and me, we get a little something, and the tip of the spear gets nothing out of it.
Well, yeah, because the idea is it's not doubling gear drops, and that's where most folks, honestly, most folks even in our position, right? Gear is really gear and signal data is where things are held up, right? We can power through a shard grind, and it's not really that, it's time consuming, but it doesn't really.
It's not like we're ever working on 8 different shard grinds at the same time. It's
not in a long time.
It's 2 or 3 at the most.
I might be now soon, but
yeah.
So yeah, we benefit from it, but it's not a game changer, For a new player, this is, and the thing, ironically, most people, a lot of kids who are coming into this are not going to know how good they have it, because of them being doubled. But God, can you imagine playing this early on and having double drops? Always.
Oh man, wow, yeah, that'd be amazing. So
yeah, I think it's great for the health of the game. What I find very interesting about it, and you mentioned about how they want to be able to meaningfully contribute, but it's almost like it's trying to get people to the end game. Because as people join, they join in a bubble, right? There are guilds at all levels available, right? So you're going to be in a guild at roughly your own power level, and you're going to get matched up against guilds of your roughly the same power level. Your arena shard is people who started around the same time. So there's not a ton of, you're not going to be outclassed, right? You're not going to go up against people like us.
It's not like starting this game pits you against us and you're just going to have a miserable time.
Right. So
you would playing a lot of online video games,
Yeah, that's why I think it's interesting where improving the early game experience is not necessarily the same as speeding it up.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way this game is done, like I said, with the way it's kind of stratified to a degree, we don't interact with new players and they don't interact with us.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way for us to cross paths. So the fact that we have a roster that's a million times better than theirs is kind of irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
So while I appreciate it, I think it's a good move. I think it can help keep people interested in it. Because I remember early on when I was just leveling up like crazy and had energy for days and how engaging it was. Mm-hmm. This will help kind of capture that same feeling. But I think improving the early game experience does not necessarily equate to being able to grind things faster. Does that make sense? Like the modes themselves are not going to be meaningfully changed by getting to them faster.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like the game itself isn't changing. It's just letting you do things a little quicker.
Mm-hmm.
So things like Grand Arena Championship, territory battles, territory wars, how you engage with that isn't changed by what characters you have necessarily.
I'd be interested to know a little about the economy of gear and how it's affected by this. Since
we talked to Chrome about
you'll
that.
Be able to fly through some of these characters, like getting these characters, so that it frees up energy that you can then spend on gear in the long run, right? You look at the total amount of energy you'll have to spend to get a character to 7 stars, it's going to be half what it used to be. So
yes, yeah, I was thinking the opposite, where you're going to have all these characters just sitting around waiting for gear, but you're right, you'll have more energy to spend on gear.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I don't know how the numbers would play out on that.
And it'll be a discipline thing, I think, for people kind of finding that sweet spot, which I guess the game has always had, between how much do you focus on getting characters to 7 stars and how much do you focus on gearing them, because it's resource management, right? So you'll still have the same amount of energy.
There are points in the game where it doesn't matter what star level you have as much. Like there's not a hard gate.
Yeah.
And as you get higher up, also it's like you got to have these guys at 7 stars, and then they start saying at a certain power level.
Mm-hmm. But
So
you'll need those stars to hit any kind of power level stuff too, because you'll be needing relics and all that.
So, but I find it very curious. I don't know in the long run how this will affect, frankly, anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there have been times where I've tried to jump into a mobile game and it's not a new one,
Yeah.
You pop into the end like, here's everything, just do what you want. You can get caught up real quick.
You're good, right?
Right, and then you're just like, this is all too much.
Yeah.
Right. I don't understand any of this.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. Is it for new players? Is it for newer players? It's all kind of in the air.
Yeah. Well, I like it. And
I think it's a great idea. I'm just, there's just so many interesting ramifications to it.
Mm-hmm.
That if you told me, at some point in the future, I'd be considering the wide-ranging applications of a permanent double drop on old characters in a mobile game, I'd be shocked.
And recording it, and people will listen to it.
I mean, at least 2 or 3. Now here's an important question. What are you going to do with it?
So I think Hux and Sith Trooper seem like obvious benefits for me. Range Trooper has been someone for a long time that I just didn't want to do it. I need too much gear on too many people to be able to freely say, yeah, Range Trooper, I can do that. No.
Like you don't have it at 7 stars?
No. 3 stars.
No wonder your troopers are bad.
Yeah. They're not that bad. They hold up all right.
Without Range Trooper.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Yeah. I run Veers, Stark, Snow, Shore, and Death. They do some pretty good work.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty good work. No relics. Just all Gear 12. That's all they need. Just give them that. They don't always win. But
no. I can't imagine.
Yeah, I think them. Range Trooper. Who else do I have that is affected? Embo is also
I can see
now.
a lot of bounty hunter teams could really be shored up by this and be ready for.
Yeah.
I mean, frankly, April, May, in the scheme of this game, I ain't that far off.
Right.
Or when the new the first batch of Mandalorian characters go to Accelerated.
Yeah.
That ain't that far off.
I've been working on Mando too, because I'm at that weird point right now where I don't have any Gear 12 characters or Gear 12 gear that I need from ship currency. So I got to spend my ship currency on something, and I've got my Y-wing that I'm working on, and then I moved Mando back into my favorites because it's something.
You know, it's interesting too because it's almost at the point where if you don't get on it in the first couple months, then you're like, I'll just wait for the double drops.
Yeah. Very much.
I'm curious how that's going to affect how people interact with it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sitting here thinking, I got so much to do. I'll get Mando and Grief, middle of next year.
Yeah. So, I don't know. What about you? What are your plans?
Well, I think that the last wisps of an excuse I had to not get the Revens have been completely obliterated.
Mm-hmm.
I was clinging desperately to that, but
to the I don't wanna argument.
I don't wanna.
Yeah.
But I think this is just I have no excuses left.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I got nothing. So once I get myself a Sith Emperor, I think I'm gonna have to go ham on some Old Republic.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care.
This will make that so much less painful, though.
I know,
so
and it will.
Painful.
And yeah, but I don't wanna.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you understand.
Yeah, this will be good for me, because I'll finish up Hux and Sith Trooper, and I'm sure Range Trooper and Embo will get done as well, and it'll give me kind of like a timeline of when someone moves to Accelerated. I'm going to be on it. It's time to grind that new character or old character.
Newish character. Yeah. I discovered today as I was going through and cashing out Bronzium or characters who I had over 100 on that 7th star. And I didn't realize it, Jawa, just regular Jawa.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it. I only had like 3 or 4, surprisingly. But I saw that I had why am I drawing a complete blank? One of the old Jedi.
Eth Koth?
No, not Eth Koth. Fish Jedi.
Fish Jedi?
The Philamar Jedi.
Oh, Kit Fisto.
Why did I blank on Kit Fisto so hard?
I don't know.
Anyway, I don't even have him unlocked.
Oh, wow.
I have the shards for it now.
Yeah.
I discovered. But until I have to, I don't think I'm going to unlock him. I don't have enough to get Sith's shard currency out of him, because I've never grinded a single shard for him.
Yeah.
And I'm not. I'm just going to leave him there, waiting to unlock.
Just leave him be. Let him stew just a little bit more.
Yeah, nice fish stew.
Mm-hmm. Fish stew. Ah.
So yeah, I think my any excuses I have are gone. So I'm gonna have to get me Revens and then a Malak, which is fine because it's gonna be good for my Sith Emperor anyway. Yeah. But I don't like it. I might once I do it.
Malak is still a pain. There's no getting over that.
Yeah.
Pain to unlock, pain to get to 7 stars, pain to deal with once you.
Now that I have relics, I could probably throw a couple of levels of relics on somebody to make that a lot easier.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been out for almost, a year and a half now?
Yeah. Yep.
A little more.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's plenty of opportunities. But
yeah. Well, let's take this moment and take a look at the meta report, part of the show where we look at the trending characters and squads that top players are using to help you see where to put your resources for the best ROI. Data is pulled weekly from our friends over at swgoh.gg. What do we got this week? Let's see. First and foremost,
You're a friend of mine.
Jedi Master Luke Skywalker. Making some moves. Let me pull up the actual leader report first to see what he's doing there. Supreme Leader Kylo Ren leads the pack with 30% of first place. How many are they sampling now? 6,800 today. So Supreme Leader Kylo has 30%. 26% are led by Rey. 19 are Jedi Knight Revan. And then 9% are Jedi Master Luke Skywalker.
That's respectable.
5% General Skywalker, 4% Darth Revan, and then it gets a little sketchy. You got Sith Eternal Emperor at 2% and Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker at 2%. I can't recall the last time I saw a Jedi Knight Luke lead. And that's about it. But Jedi Master Luke is, like, as far as here, let me look at over the last 7 days, he has gone up 13%. Let me see. Is that just rank 1? Yeah. Yep. Over the last 30 days, Jedi Master Luke has only changed 1%, but in the last 7 days, he's gone up 13%. That's crazy. So, I mean, obviously, with a new character like this, you've got more people unlocking him, more people getting his ultimate. Yeah. It's not theory crafting. We've known the team. There's no new team that I know of that's
sweeping the nation.
Right, yeah. So I just find it very interesting that he's gone up so much. Rey has gone up 5%. 2% for Mr. Yoda, Grandmaster Yoda. 2% for Fives. And yeah, that's basically it. The squads that we're looking at, it's very much composed of just a few squads. It's a Supreme Leader Kylo with crew, Sith Trooper, Hux, and Stormtrooper has 12%. 10% each for the standard Rey and standard Revan team. The Rey is going to be General Skywalker, Jedi Knight Luke, Jedi Knight Revan, and Hermit Yoda. The Revan team is going to have General Skywalker, Jedi Master Luke, Jedi Knight Luke, and Wat Tambor. And that's really the bulk of squads. There's a million variations on each, but
yeah.
There's also, isn't there one? Let's see, a Jedi Master Luke. Yeah, I don't know. There's just like 1,000 different versions of it. But yeah, he's clearly the go-to for these new squads. I am liking that as a Rey player, I still don't feel compelled to have him. I don't feel like I have to have him. I'm doing fine. And I assume for you as a Kylo player that it's a similar thing. Like, you've got Kylo. You don't have to hurry up and get your Sith Emperor. Or Sith Eternal Emperor.
I want him, but no, I don't feel like I'm just desperately waiting for him before I can do well in Arena.
Mm-hmm. Like, he'll be fun to play with when you get him.
Yeah, I did face him for the first time.
Yeah, how'd that go?
I beat him bad.
Yeah. Which is kind of sad that we're working toward these things that we keep beating. But
well, the new ones aren't built to be offensive powerhouses. And the original
Yeah.
two are.
Yeah.
Say what you will about Rey, she is very good on offense.
Mm-hmm.
I hate facing her when she's on defense, so I hate it. I hate it so much.
Honestly, so do I.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Ray v. Ray is not exactly peak
It's not like the old
entertainment.
Jedi Knight Revan. I don't hate it that much,
Yeah.
but I hate it quite a bit.
Yeah. Revan's still there. He's still
I
doing
make a
some
point
of
of
his
killing him when
hijinks.
possible first.
Yeah.
Not just because strategically it's smart, because I hate him so much.
Just hate that man.
That's the worst. Terrible person.
Yeah. Certainly. Huh. Well, yeah, so I just always find it fascinating when the meta actually moves in just a little bit.
Yeah, it's a pretty healthy meta, I think, right now. I mean,
I think so.
From what I see, and on paper I see it's basically the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly the two old Galactic Legends with other ones sprinkled in.
Mm-hmm.
You still got the odd gas squad in there trying to mess things up.
Mm-hmm. Padme chilling at the bottom there, too.
I never see Padme teams.
33 people won with Padme.
Do you see that? There's none up there in our shard, right?
No. Oh, no. I'm scrolling quite far down to find that one. One of my opponents in Grand Arena actually is running a Vader team, which I'm sure is just some kind of Ray counter squad that is a temporary little placeholder because it's easy to beat. But Vader, Bastila Fallen, Darth Treya, Watt, and Thrawn. I mean, it's all a bunch of jerks. You know? Isolate, Fracture, Merciless Massacre, just a bunch of D moves. If that's what it takes for you to beat me, son, all right. Yeah. So, yay meta. So, speaking of Sith Eternal Emperor and your quest to acquire the most mediocre of the Galactic Legends so far, how goes it? Who are you grinding?
Don't do me like that when you're introducing my.
You're questing for this nonsense.
How do you feel about this stupid thing you're doing? Joke's on you. I spent some of our patron money on a Admiral Piet pack I found in the store for some reason.
Yes. Someone already rifled through it and took out the shards. It was like taped back shut.
No, I was surprised. It was 30 shards. I don't know why it was sitting there. I was in there for a bronze game. I was like, is that a Piet? Okay. I'm sure I bought all these already, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything with my Sith tanks. They're both sitting at Gear 12. Where they will until I'm done, probably.
Sure.
I did finish Jedi Anakin. Relic 7.
All right.
Write them off.
Done.
Sucks. I hate it.
Yeah.
Admiral Piet is at now 64 out of 100. Almost there.
Yeah.
I was at 9 out of 100. Haven't really been going nuts on grind or refreshes because I did get that 30 out of the pack. So respectable week, but you know. Thrawn, it went up from Relic 4 to Relic 5. I am sitting here waiting for these. It's the second to the highest of the snubs. It's the
I hate
worst.
it. I hate it so much.
Worst. I finished my Anakin one, scraped by, and then immediately like, well, let's see what I gotta do for Thrawn, and the worst. It's horrible.
You sacrifice a child to this Jawa
Yeah,
thing,
and, you're like,
and he's
"Well,
like,
you're
he's
half done."
two.
Yeah,
You know.
it's
God.
and then some of my characters actually need that gear.
Right.
I'm so mad. I still have to do the entirety of Sidious and Marauder.
Mm-hmm.
So Thrawn's at Relic 5, waiting to go to 6. As soon as I can have another baby to sacrifice to the Jawa, I guess. Sidious, still sitting in Gear 13. He's going to be the last one to do, except for Piet, probably. Just Marauder, I started throwing relics on this week. He's at Relic 3 now. But big news was getting Anakin done. and Thrawn from 4 to 5, which was not nothing, and
Yeah.
grinding up to 6, and it's hard to describe. I'm sure everybody listening to this knows how much that sucks. If you don't,
it is one of the worst feelings in the game, honestly.
It is. It's kind of like if there are new players listening, it's kind of like listening to your parents complain about being an adult, and you're like, no way, that's going to be awesome.
No, it's awful.
It's not. Grinding that electrodium, whatever. It's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Only, let's see. I need 10 more for him, and then I'm going to need 40 each for the other two dum-dums.
Oh, man.
I might just have to break down as they're blowing money on crystals to buy those, because it physically hurts me, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
I was doubled over in pain grinding those today, writhing on the floor like a mass of flamed nerves.
Oh, man.
How about you? Who you grinding?
Yeah, so I've made a lot of progress this last week on certain things. So I mean, soon I'll be working on shards for Hux, Big Red, and Ranger Rick. Mm-hmm. For gear, I'm doing those Galactic Legend Luke requirements, but I'm kind of finishing those up, so I've slotted in a couple other people. I geared up some geared.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a word.
I geared it up some weirdos this week. I can't recall who, like Sith. Did I do Sith Assassin or I don't know. No, it was Special Forces TIE Fighter pilot.
The old honestly, I still love that character. But.
I had some gear and I gave it to him, and then it made his ship better too, because then I could improve an ability there, and I have a billion ship materials.
It's an okay ship.
So that was weird. But and then Mando. So relics, I just got old Ben to relic 4. I put the wrong numbers in here, but I just took him to relic 4, and he only needs to be at 5. So that's almost done. I got Jedi Knight Luke up to relic 7.
Nice.
Dude is fun to play with. He hurts people badly.
I don't care for him.
He just
I avoid him so hard in arena. So hard.
He's a jerk too. Yeah.
It's the worst.
And then he hits you and just cripples you instantly.
It doesn't matter. He can hit like a wet noodle. Because it's not resistible, right? His stun.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like your whole team. Yeah, just chill out for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm playing my Slicker, I need to be going and doing AoEs and everything to get my ultimate up, or else I do not win.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, yeah, just take 5, and it makes me angry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see, who else have I been working on? Mon Mothma and Backpack. They're just gonna they take forever, and it makes me mad. I'm so far behind on them. 29 out of 85 for Mon Mothma and 50 out of 85 for Backpack. Ugh.
Not great.
That Rebel Y-Wing is at 37 out of 85 now. Leia is 24 salvage away from Gear 13. So that's going well. Mm-hmm. Biggs is less than 50 salvage of a different piece from Gear 13. So they're almost done. I got Wedge up to Gear 13 and Relic 3. So
that's easy.
Overall,
easy.
Yeah. Overall, ticked a lot of boxes this week.
Yeah, I feel like that's my problem. I ticked a lot of easy boxes early on, and now I'm just sitting here in the salt mines.
Yeah. I mean, the only challenging stuff or painful stuff ahead of me is Mon Mothma and Backpack.
Even then, they're only to Relic 5. That's not crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, just I'm so far behind on the shard grind with them that's going to take some time. But, whatever. Like I said, I've got time. I don't feel like I have to do this right now. So
I just want to be done with it.
Mm-hmm.
I got the same way with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. I just wanted to be done with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is why I'm still kind of wishy-washy on grinding Old Republic, because that's a whole batch of characters I don't give a gosh dang about.
That's very true.
And I have just finished up with a bunch of characters who, like, I love Sidious. He's a fun character. Marauder can eat one, but like, I just don't care about those guys. It's not. I'm not going to do anything fun with them.
Yeah. Yeah, some of them, I will say at least the dark side ones, like Bastille of Fallen and...
for the Old Republic ones, yeah.
Yeah. Like, at least they're fun. The light side, like Karth, like putting that team together, let me put a mediocre defensive team from 2 years ago together. Sweet.
Yeah, it was mediocre 2 years ago.
Yeah. So it's a grind, man. That's the grind.
But I usually have to alternate with a fun project before I go back to another grind. I don't even know what to do.
Yeah.
Gear 13 Egar Saxon sounds like the most amusing thing I can think of. But
I don't know if I'm gonna do a fun project or just jump on the slicker train.
It's a good train. The problem you might run into is your finalize ore.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been doing okay on it. I mean, not every time.
Yeah, I've been doing all right. Let me take a quick look at Mr.
Well, you need like a 5-star, I think.
Yeah, mine's 6-star.
Oh, shoot. You're good.
Yeah, I got it. Got it.
That's right, because I was running into the problem where it had just been released too recently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've had time to muscle through. And honestly, that'll get easier if I work on hooks a little bit.
Well, and just
and crew.
Well, and all your first order characters.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you already qualified, so there's no real rush to make that event any better.
It's just that event, every time it pops up, almost every time, there's a couple painful attempts before I actually beat it.
Sure.
And so I don't want that to be my life.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, that's all we've got for you this week. It may not be the best advice, but at least we didn't recommend stockpiling your ally points. Galactic War Report is brought to you by our Patreon supporters. Learn how to become one and get access to our Discord server at patreon.com/Galactic War Report. As always, big thanks go out to our Sandcrawler level supporters, CT1980, Devin Doctorman, John T. Kusenik Jr., and SWGOH.GG. If you like what you hear, please consider showing your support with a rating and or review through your podcast medium of choice. Thanks for tuning in, and may the Force and RNG be with you.